And 2 hours from Melbourne is a beautiful little stream that runs very close to the town of Thornton. I'm with Scott Xantholarkis. Did I get it right?
Got it in one.
I was just going to call him Scotty X, I've got to admit. Now, today we're fly fishing for trout.
Yes.
This is what you sort of do for a living.
Yes, I do for a living, yes.
Why trout? Why small streams? Why do you love them?
Look at that. It's beautiful. They're stunning fish. They really are. They're not big in these streams, but geez, they're gorgeous. And they're wild fish in the stream. So yeah, I just love that.
So today, a little bit of wild fishing, fly fishing, 3-weight rods. I can't guarantee monsters, but I can guarantee it's going to be absolutely spectacular. If in doubt, strike.
Yep.
So the deal is, if that indicator goes under, now our indicator is our top fly. If it goes under, you've got to strike. Sometimes you're going to catch a stick, sometimes you're going to catch a rock, but every now and then, you're going to catch a trout. And that's what it is all about. It's amazing. I've been fly fishing this morning for about 5 minutes. And Scott, you've already helped my technique so much. Why the long draw? Just explain what I'm doing with my left hand.
Long draw rather than sharp, short ones.
Yep.
It allows the fly to drift naturally, the line to come back at the pace of the river. We're always adjusting to the pace of the river. As soon as we step one side or up, we must adjust to the flow of what we're fishing in front of us. So.
And it's much easier to say that nice long draw. I was doing these sharp, short ones, like I would when I'm saltwater fishing.
Yep. It just allows the fly to drift more naturally, which, if it's drifting naturally, the fish will think, great, this is food, let's eat it. As soon as you pull that fly, you won't be interested yet.
Yeah, any drag, it's all over.
Any drag, yeah. So drag-free drift, yeah.
Yes, well done.
Okay.
You picked it a mile, didn't you?
Yeah.
The honey hole.
It's the honey hole.
And
That's
you're saying,
like a little brownie.
little brownie, you're saying the fish like to sit in the head of the pool. That's exactly where he was. That's amazing. Just walked the stretch probably 30 feet.
Yes, that's right.
And as soon as we got to the head of the pool, bang, I'll flick him your way.
There we go.
That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful wild fish.
These little brown trout. I think they were introduced to Tasmania in 1864. Epic journey across the high seas, and now we're getting the rewards of that in Victoria all these years later.
It's sensational, you know. The fish are here. As you said, we only fished 30 metres of water. Vic Fisheries at the moment doing a great job of looking after our streams. All this area has been planted out.
Yep. Look at that. A beautiful,
Stunning little fish.
baby brown trout. And that take, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much, mate. That is gold. And away he goes. What a beautiful fish. Good work. I told you there's got to be a fish in there somewhere. He's coming towards me. He's coming towards me. That is just so much fun. And I was just saying, the very last fish I caught was a swordfish that may have nudged 400 kilos. Took me 5 hours and 10 minutes. And this is just as enjoyable. And I think that's what people have to love about fishing. The fact that you're never going to get bored. It's another beautiful little brownie. That little fish there wouldn't weigh as much as that swordfish's eye, but the heart was still going pump, pump, pump. And I always say, like people say, oh, fishing isn't that boring. If you think about all the different species you can catch, then all the different places you can go to catch those species, then all the different ways you can catch them, all the different people you can meet on the journey, you're going to be an old man before you get sick of this, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's a bit better fish.
It's a beautiful fish, isn't it? Look at the coloration.
That is gold.
It's a sexy fish there, Paul.
It is. I'm hearing you.
Look at the colours on that.
Look at that. Look at those beautiful spots. And this time of year, these fish are getting ready for spawning, aren't they?
Yeah. In a month or so, they'll be spawning, yeah. But they're feeding up hard at the moment, which is good for us. So we can target these fish just as they're feeding up heavily and snag a few, yeah. That
is just beautiful. The way that little float just goes down. When I say float, that dry fly, you know you're going to have a fish any second. It's a beautiful thing. Here you go, my little brown friend. It's all about catch and release with these gorgeous little things. Look at him, he's just going to sit there. He'll probably go and sit in my shadow.
Little spiny freshwater cray there.
You say little, but he's got big claws.
Yes.
These things are absolutely amazing little creatures. They love the fresh water. Now, obviously endemic to Australia.
Yes.
Do you know where the biggest ones are found?
No. Whereabouts?
I believe it's Tasmania, and they grow to over 10 pounds. Now that is prehistoric. Now they call them a spiny freshwater crayfish. Just check out the spines on the legs, on the claws, and even on the back there. Now, people say fish feel pain. I've seen Murray cod eat these to about 1 kilo. Do you reckon you'd want to chomp on that?
No, thank you.
No, not at all. And this is obviously a pretty good sign that the river is healthy.
Yeah, the rivers are healthy. Yeah, there's been a heap around lately. Last 2 seasons been great. Yeah, to see them about.
Well, when they get bigger, you can eat them. You can actually recreationally fish for them, but check your local guide. We'll put this guy back. How different is this river just a few k's upstream?
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, we've got more bouldery water here.
Yep.
And a lot of pocket water, what we call pocket water in fly fishing, just casting the small, slow-moving areas, looking for fish sitting behind those rock structures. So,
and start with smaller casts first?
Yes, that's right. Start off small, just work yourself up 30 centimetres at a time.
Isn't that amazing, the amount of casts? How many casts are you putting for this fish?
A dozen or so casts in that one little pool.
But he's a fat little nugget. And that was just so cool. Talking about stalking a trout.
Yeah.
And you even said, and this is the benefit of using a good guide, I just kept casting a bit to the right.
Yep.
Why do you want me just to come that little bit to the left?
Like I said, all that food's coming down along the fast edge. So these brown trout, they're a bit lazy like me. They want to sit on the slow edge, but still where the food's coming down, you're casting a bit to the far side, which was a bit too slow there. So you stuck it right in the spot, in the honey hole again, and then bang, fish on.
And he's a nugget, eh? And the power, I think the fly might have fallen out, it has.
Nice, yeah.
Oh, just if you can grab that rod for me. Sure. Look at that little guy there. As I said earlier, we're not going to be catching monsters today, but how pretty those fish. Look at the spots on his side. And brown trout actually eat brown trout. They're cannibalistic, and quite often if you're using a small lure here, you use a lure that represents that perfectly, and they'll come in and smack it, one out of aggression and two because they want to feed. As I said, I've caught some big fish, but that was very, very rewarding. Thank you very much, mate. That is just absolutely awesome.
Cracker. Beautiful.
This guy's pretty keen to go back, I reckon. Thanks for the memories. And look at the colour on that fish. He is so camouflaged in that rocky bottom. I am literally 2 feet away. And the main thing I can see is his gills flaring, his red gills. I gotta say, this is just so cool. Get a flyer and come and do it. It's amazing. So I notice you're wearing spotters. Is there any particular reason you're wearing that coloured lens?
This colour lens, yeah. This is the penetrator lens that I like to use because in situations like this, we've got a lot of colour change, light changing. And these penetrator lenses that spotters make adjust to that light.
It's actually darken and lighten.
That's correct, yes.
I think the word is photochromic.
Photochromic.
Which is pretty cool. I'm actually using a yellow lens. That yellow lens is amazing. You put it on, and it actually gives you about 5 more steps of light. It's amazing, and just when you get under the trees, those shadows, it's so much easier. Because if you're wearing sunnies, quite often in the shadows, it's really hard to see, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So not only get the right pair of spotters, but also get the one with the correct lens, because it'll make a world of difference to your fishing. Speaking of fishing, it's got to be a trout, just over there.
Absolutely.
Let's go and smash him. That's the best fish of the day. He's a solid fish. I struck a bit hard. He went flying, but you get that on the big job. I'll pull him back to you if I can. Yeah! Yeah, baby. Woo. That is awesome. I literally then was hardly even casting the fly line.
That's it. We're just leader flicking, yeah.
Leader flicking. So so difficult to do because all the weight's in the fly line. You're trying to do this, and literally as soon as you hit the right spot, that was a great take straight down, eh?
He's eating the dry fly.
Yes, baby. That's awesome. So he's actually taken the dry, and that is the benefit. That's a nice solid fish, eh?
It's a great fish for up in this small water, this pocket water stuff.
Let's try and untangle him a bit. That is the benefit of fishing that double rig. He wanted the dry. Those other fish, they've wanted the wet, so to speak. And what, if you're just going to a tackle shop and you look at a fly, what's the easiest way to distinguish between a wet and a dry?
Wet and a dry, a bead and then no bead, pretty much. And a big hackle around the fly will mean a dry. And then a bead or anything like that will be a wet fly,
And another one I always used was 2-dimensional for a wet, 3-dimensional for a dry.
Exactly.
That works pretty well too. That is a beautiful fish, brown trout in this beautiful river. There you go, little fella. And that is unbelievable. He's literally just sitting there, hiding behind a rock like trout do. I think the only fair thing's give him a bit of a tickle. There you go, mate. And away he goes.
Today on the stream, we're using a very simple setup. It has a 9-foot leader coming from the fly line. So we tie on a little dry there. He floats along the top. Then on the bend of the hook there, we tie a bit of tippet, fine tippet, to a little bead-headed nymph. So the idea is the dry fly floats along the top, the nymph below, and if the nymph gets eaten, that pulls the dry fly down, and we've got a fish on the nymph. Or alternatively, the fish will come up and eat the dry.
Yes, he took the dry.
Off the top.
He took the dry. And that was the second time. Quite the same fish, eh?
Yeah.
Well done,
mate.
That is just a beautiful thing. The afternoon light, it is golden, and so is this beautiful little brown trout. And to see a fish come up and take that dry off the top, as I said earlier, I've caught plenty of big fish, but that is just as exciting to me.
It is, it's great, isn't it? It's good fun.
How good a trout. Look at him. They don't have to be monsters to be amazing. And those spots, he's all ready to spawn, come to do his thing. They look all nice and pretty for each other. I'm so excited, so impressed. I'll put him back in the net so you can keep him wet for a second. How good has this been? All day, I've been concentrating on that little bit of fluff. I lost concentration a few times, but we did pretty well, haven't we?
Really good. It's a great day, yeah.
We had a long walk back to the car, haven't we?
Yeah.
I suggest we start walking. So Scott, are we there yet?
Almost, Paul. 2 more Ks to go.
Isn't it amazing the distance you cover when you look at that next spot, chucking the fly in, hoping for a big fish? 2 Ks back to the car, worth every kilometre. Seriously, how good was the fishing today?
10 out of 10, Paul. Absolutely, yeah. Great day.
Every cast was like, bang, it's going to go under. Then the next one, bang, it's going to go under. I just loved every second of it. To think this is just 2 hours from my house, I didn't even know this little stream existed. If you want to come and do a bit of this waving the wand, talk to Scott. Wilderness Fly Fishing is the man. Scotty, I'm loving your work.
Thanks, mate.